tired of trying to lose weight while parenting, kids drop offs, work, cleaning, running errands, trying to find time to prioritize yourself, dieting? You're not alone. And most importantly, you're not failing. Stay tuned because I have something that I think will make it so much easier for you. In today's video, I'm going to talk about how alternate day fasting can help you not only lose weight, feel better, simplify your life, but help you reach those results without losing your mind in the process. If you're like me, you're a busy mom, you have children, you're a spouse, you have your family depending on you, you might be in midlife, you might be in your 30s, like me, things are changing for you, your body, your hormones, and you've tried other things in the past and found that maybe they didn't help you lose weight and keep it off. Alternate day fasting could be just the thing you need. I've used alternate day fasting to lose over 40 pounds and still counting. I started at 242. I felt, sluggish, heavy, hopeless, and alternate day fasting not only helped me lose weight, but it's really helped me turn my life around. I have a lot more energy. I'm smiling more. I'm doing the things that I want. I'm wearing clothes I, wasn't able to wear before. And of course, I have long ways to go, but alternate day fasting definitely helped me get the ball rolling on my health and wellness journey. I believe it can be just the thing for you. Okay, so let's be honest. A lot of times, if you're like me, you're not only a busy mom, but you work, you have a household that you're maintaining. And even if you're not a parent, you're just a busy person. In today's world, I think we're all busy with work, with commuting. So oftentimes you'll look online or you'll look at other videos and you'll see fitness gurus who are pounding the gym and lifting the iron and doing tons of crutches and sit-ups and running laps for hours and hours and spending, their entire lives in the gyms. I used to watch videos like that, and I would constantly wonder, why am I so disappointed? Because I was not able to maintain that sort of fitness routine, having the busy life that I have. One thing that alternate day fasting gave me was simplicity. Of course, it was a little challenging at first. And for those of you who may be new to alternate day fasting, what it means is you eat every other day. So my schedule is on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, I don't eat. So I water fast. And then on Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday, and Sunday, I eat. So alternate day fasting, you complete a 36-hour fast. You're fasting every other day. And you can also have up to 500 calories. So alternate day fasting for me was what it took for me to take my health to the next level pretty much. And I have a huge weight loss goal. I'm 5'4". I would love to be at around the 140 to 150 mark. In my adult life, even in my 20s, I've never been under 140. So I don't know if that's a possibility for me. And I have, muscles. So, and I used to play sports. So I'm still working on my own weight loss goal. But for years, I sat at the 220, 230, and at my highest 242. And now for the first time in about 7 years, I'm under 200 pounds. Woo! And am I at my goal weight? Not yet, but alternate day fasting has definitely given me that confidence and that boost. And for the first time in years, it's helped my weight go under the 200 mark. So you might think that alternate day fasting could be, challenging. And I think mostly it's a mindset thing. If you have that strong why in mind, why do you want to lose weight? For me, it was my health. My blood pressure was high. I was sluggish. I could barely reach my feet. So I decided to make that change. So get your strong why. But even though starting off initially, alternate day fasting was a bit challenging because I was used to eating all the time. I was used to eating junk food and DoorDash and, going through drive-thrus and eating cookies and cakes and crackers. But what I realized is not only did I get the results with alternate day fasting, it helped curb my appetite. So when you're not eating, you give your body a chance to heal, to go into autophagy the longer that you fast. And that is your body's way of cleaning up all the debris, all the junk, and excreting all the toxins out of your body. And that comes with drinking more water and letting your gut heal as you fast. So alternate day fasting really just made my life so much simpler. Why? Because as a mother, sometimes we are preparing the food that we eat, and we're preparing the food that maybe our children eat. I try not to make that a habit, but everyone has their preferences and their dietary needs. So as moms, and even if you're not a mom, you might be a dad, you might be a parent, you might just be busy and have multiple people in your household and you're cooking for them. So with alternate day fasting, it definitely helped me because it just simplified my life. I know that on Tuesdays and Thursdays and the weekend, I'm going to eat. On Monday, Wednesday, Fridays, I give myself a break. So that was less cooking for me. That was less money spent buying food. And it just took away a lot of the frustration of tracking every single day. I mean, I still track my calories using my Fitness but when I tell you, having those fast days is such a relief because I'm not putting in the things that I'm eating. I don't have to think too much about what I'm eating, what I'm not eating, and what I'm calculating and how many calories. So it was a lot easier for me. And I found that some of my friends who are also parents found it to simplify their lives as well. So alternate day fasting is great when you're busy. Another way the alternate day fasting is great for you if you're busy. I mean, you don't need any complicated, fancy, meal plans. I found that as I fasted, it helped get my blood sugar levels in check. So the longer you fast, your body starts to burn up that leftover glucose or sugar in your body. And then eventually, if you fast long enough, your body will start even tapping into your fat stores and burning fat. And when you're doing that, you're decreasing your insulin level, which drives hunger. And you're increasing your hormones that make you feel satiated or full. So the fasting actually helped me curb my cravings for sugar, for junk food, so much so that on the days that I eat, you would think, after not eating for 36 hours. So, if you don't, let's say my last meal was on Sunday at 7 p.m. From 7 p.m., I'd fast all the way until Monday, wouldn't eat anything on Monday. And then around Tuesday at about 8 or 9 a.m., I'd be having a meal. So around that time, it's about 36 hours that you would have fasted if you're doing alternate day fasting like me. So I found that, starting off, sure, I would be thinking about, I can't wait for my eating day. But eventually now, months into it, on my eating days, I go to bed, I'm like, I'm a little bit hungry, but not too much. I drink water, I sleep, I wake up, and then, it's 8 o'clock and I find myself still not hungry. So you would think that, with alternate day fasting, you'd want to binge the next day. But the longer you fast, the lower you get your insulin and blood, insulin levels, and all those hunger hormone levels go down. The longer you fast, you find that you are actually not as hungry, so you won't be binging. So not only do you get that benefit of autophagy and healing within your body when you give it a chance to rest, you're not stuffing your face with food, but you also help to curb junk food cravings, sugar cravings, and get better control of your appetite. So it gives you power, it gives you flexibility, and it gives you freedom if you're a busy person like me. So I absolutely love alternate day fasting. If you think about alternate day fasting as self-care, especially if you're a busy parent, a busy mom, you are out in the world and working and putting your employer first, or hustling for a job and sitting in hours of traffic and putting everyone else first but yourself, and you switch your mindset a little bit and think about alternate day fasting as self-love and self-care, it can totally shift the way that you think about your health and your weight loss journey. So personally for me, I had to go from feeling like I was being punished because I couldn't eat junk food, because I had to cancel my DoorDash subscription, to looking at, wow, I'm feeling less pain in my back. I'm not as inflamed. My face is not as puffy. My eye bags are not as pronounced. They're in fact going away. I'm sleeping better. I can actually get up a flight of stairs without getting out of breath, and I can reach my toes without, my bones creaking. So alternate day fasting gave my body the chance to rest and heal, and it gave me control and power. For the first time in a long time, I felt like I was able to say, no to some things that didn't benefit me. Maybe there's a pile of dishes in the sink. There might be a little bit in the kitchen sink right now, but you know what? That's okay. You can say, no, I'm going to do that later, because right now I'm focusing on fasting, healing. I don't want to overexert myself. I want to pour my energy back into my own self and prioritize my health. So alternate day fasting helps give you that belief. And when you see the results, you see, week by week, the pounds are just falling off so seamlessly because you were able to say no to this little, bit of food, and you're not going to starve. And I have to say, if you have any, pre-existing health conditions, any, eating disorders or conditions that will make fasting perhaps not the right choice for you, then please reach out to your healthcare provider. But I'm sharing that alternate day fasting helped me get my life in order as a mother, as a spouse, as a busy person. It gave me that power and that control, and it's given me results. So I just want to share that with you. Here's me at my heaviest weight. You can see that my face is super puffy, obviously bigger, belly bloated like I'm pregnant, 242 pounds. And I think this one here on the right is me, even heavier than 242. And here's me now. I'm more confident. I'm happier. I'm smiling. I'm fitting into clothes I didn't think I could get into. I'm wearing bright colors. I'm not hiding my body under sweatpants and baggy clothes and dark colors. And I'm just exuding radiance, positivity, and happiness, loving my new body that I'm building. And just remember that, it doesn't have to be perfect. I'm still, honing in on the system and processes that work for myself. You have to find what works for you. I will just say, and I say time and time again, it's a process. Trust in it. Show up for yourself, but also give yourself grace. It doesn't have to be perfect. Before alternate day fasting, I started off doing intermittent fasting. So I would eat for 8 hours of the day. Just for a quick example, I would maybe start eating around 10 or so in the morning. And then I would have my last meal by 6 or 7. Or I eat from 11 to 7. So essentially I would give myself an 8-hour eating window. That helped me kind of segue into alternate day fasting. From there, I was keeping my carbohydrates low. I've tried other things, but alternate day fasting has been the most successful in helping me lose the weight and keep it off. But before getting there, especially as a busy person, I tried intermittent fasting first. Give yourself grace. You don't have to do it all at once. You just have to keep showing up. And over time, I promise you will see those results. It's like going to work. You do it day in, day out, day in, day out. You know that when you do that work, your paycheck comes. So when you pour into yourself and do the work that you need to do for your own body, the results will come over time. So I just have to keep that in mind as well. It doesn't have to be perfect. Just start. So how did I start? Did I just say one day, I'm not going to eat? I started watching things and reading information and learning what is alternate day fasting and what are the benefits. And I just finally got so fed up and sick and tired of being sick and tired that I said, I'm going to try this. So, the week before, as a busy mom, I couldn't just say, I'm going to just stop, cold turkey. So I tried segueing my way into it, eating in an 8-hour window, then gradually eating in like a 4-hour window, more of like a 24. And then I tried OMAD, or 1 meal a day. And I tried lowering carbohydrates because I noticed things like, for me personally, tons of white rice and bread and crackers, those kinds of things make me feel even more hungry when I eat it. And then I tried eating more protein and then less simple carbohydrates. And then I started eliminating junk food. And then I was ready, I started bumping up my water intake and then learning more about electrolytes that are helpful, like potassium, magnesium, and salt or sodium for fasting, and all these things that I needed to get my body ready for alternate day fasting. And then I jumped headlong and I haven't looked back ever since. So, you're busy, give yourself grace, but just know that alternate day fasting, it doesn't have to be a punishment with the right mindset. And in fact, for a busy person, it can be something that just simplifies your life. It can be a way for you to show yourself self-love and care, promote healing in your body. And if you're like me and you've literally struggled for years, like you've tried fat diets, you've tried all these other fasting patterns, you've tried keto and vegan and all these things, and the weight just bounces right back on your body, then alternate day fasting could be just the thing you need, because it's definitely helped me for the first time in years reach my weight loss goals and counting. Okay, so here's the tea on how you can do alternate day fasting without losing your mind, especially when you're busy. And here's the schedule that I use. So Monday, I think I mentioned it. Monday, Wednesday, Friday, I'm doing water fasting, nothing but water. I'll have some electrolytes and some apple cider vinegar and green tea, black coffee. Nothing with calories. The green tea and the black coffee help curb the appetite. It has other health benefits like antioxidants and some nutrients and things with the apple cider vinegar with the mother. And I'll put product links in the description if you're interested. But so yeah, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, I'm not eating. Super simple. I don't have to think about anything. I don't have to cook. I don't have to do a thing. There's no calories to track. And then what I do is, and I've kind of gotten myself ramped up to this, I will do like a meal prep, if you will. I don't do anything super fancy. I'm not using any, cutesy things. I'm just making a batch of food. And with the family, it's challenging. So some tips, how do I not lose my mind? I batch cook. I might throw some veggies on a pan and roast it up. Everyone in my family, including myself, can eat from that. I might bake up a big old rack of chicken breast and I have my veggies. I'm not a huge rice person simply because I find at this age and stage of my life, I just, perimenopause maybe, I don't know, age or genetics, I just don't handle too much rice well. But I could do a tiny bit of sweet potatoes and things like that. So I could bake up sweet potatoes, veggies, roasted in the pan, easy breezy, 20 to 30 minutes in the oven. I don't have to think about it too much. Everyone likes it in my household. Everyone can eat from it. And chicken breast, get that out, let them rest and slice it up. You have a whole meal. I will fix rice for like my kids and stuff like that. They like that. So those are quick meals. So simplify your life on the alternate day fasting schedule. So if you go ahead and do your batch cooking the day before, then when you're breaking your fast, you will have something that's healthy and wholesome and fulfilling to eat, and you're not reaching for junk food. So that's one way. Also on fasting days, stay busy. And if you have children, you're going to be busy, especially if they're small. And then if you're working, that's half the day pretty much. So you're going to have something to occupy your time. If it's a day off and you're fasting, stay active. At first, I would just be like, oh, I'm so hungry. I don't have any energy. So I would sit on the couch and watch Netflix. Guess what? Then I would see, commercials if I would switch to like Amazon Prime or something. And then the ads would come on and then I would see food and then I would spiral and then I would break my fast. So it's been a bumpy road to get to this point where I can do my fast days successfully and I have a routine. So, stay busy, make it easy so you're not pulling your hair out, losing your mind, you're gritting your teeth, you're looking in the refrigerator and contemplating if you can get through your fast. Get productive. I'm sure there's so many things you might be able to find. Like me around my house, there's pretty much always something to do to clean. I might not want to do it, but if it keeps me busy and it gets more steps in, I do that. And I track my steps here on my little Apple Watch and I use my Fitness Pal and it links up so I get credit for my steps and activity. So yeah, stay busy. You might even just, let's say you're feeling tired on your fast day. I like to read Kindle, read a book. Hey, maybe catch up on talking to friends and family or looking on your social, media network. Just anything that you can do to stay busy, preferably something that's going to keep you active and get more steps. I love walking outside. I go to trails. So just stay occupied. Hey, and you can even get everyone involved. If, you have smaller children, I'm sure they love to play, get outside and walk with you and play. And I have teenagers, and so it's a bit like pulling teeth sometimes to get them out to go on a walk with me. But even then, they are still willing to go with me. So keep busy. Don't just sit there wondering about food and sleeping and lazing the day away. That was a mistake that I made initially, and it made it fasting so miserable. But so make it fun for yourself. Make it like a treat. Like, again, you're giving self-love, you're healing your body. Another thing, if you are feeling a little like peckish, or you feel maybe you have like a bit of a headache on your fast days, and that can make it pretty challenging, especially if you have young ones to look after and you're tired on that day, or you have things to do, you're at work, have some electrolytes. And again, make sure that that's okay for you to have for your body. I do take a supplement that has potassium, magnesium, and salt. So I find that and especially in the beginning, if I was feeling a little, not quite dizzy, but maybe a throbbing headache, that can be your body's signal that you are dehydrated. So drink that water. I get like 120 ounces a day, and I have a huge water bottle. So get your water. If you need and you don't have electrolytes, I personally would start off with using a little salt. Regular salt if you have it. I have some pink Himalayan salt, even better. And then I moved up to buying electrolytes. But if you don't need them, you don't need them. It's just recommended for like those longer fasts. And if you feel like you're having a bit of a headache. Also, if you're drinking the water, you may want to do it because you don't want to dilute the electrolytes in your body so much when you're taking in a lot of water. So just little tips so that you're not like losing your mind while you're fasting. Put ADF, alternate day fasting, on easy mode for yourself. Initially, I started off and I was just so desperate to eat that a couple times I even went in the refrigerator and I said, oh, there's a leftover slice of pizza. I didn't eat yesterday, so I should be able to eat this piece of pizza, right? It won't hurt me. And then that led to me eating a little bit of a croissant and a little bit of the kids' muffin. I'm healed now. I've gotten a routine for myself. I've learned that eating those simple carbohydrates first thing after fasting, not a good idea. Spikes your blood sugar and it sets the tone for the rest of your day. It could make you have stomach aches, give you headaches. It just can throw a lot of things off. So you've spent all your fast day cleaning up your body, getting out the toxins and the junk. The last thing you want to do is put junk right back in your tank the first thing in the morning. So to simplify your life, make it more manageable for you, is we already talked about a little bit, doing your meal prep the day before. Even if you're not sectioning things off into nice little containers, get a big batch, have at least 1 or 2 meals that you can grab first thing in the morning, preferably protein. So I personally get about 30 grams of protein in. I have my vegan shake, and I'm not vegan, but I love that it is Owen brand, OWYN. It has 30 grams of vegan protein, pea protein. It has broccoli, kale, a bunch of vitamins and nutrients, and most importantly, it has that 30 grams of protein. So that's the minimum that I like to have with my meals and snacks. So I get that in. I might have boiled eggs, some Greek yogurt, tiny bit of fruit, mostly like berries, strawberries, raspberries, low carb fruits, because that's how my body best responds. But that protein will get you right first thing in the morning. Make sure you get those healthy fats in, the avocados when you're eating, the salmon. I like walnuts. You can, any brand of nuts pretty much, Brazil nuts, pistachios, almonds. So have those healthy whole foods on hand. I even like string cheeses, anything quick, healthy that you can grab. And then prep is going to be one of the biggest ones. And preparation in general is one of the biggest things that's going to determine your success in ADF, your mindset and your preparation. So make it easy for yourself. Okay, let's see. How else not to lose your mind when you're trying alternate day fasting and trying to get healthy and you're busy? One thing that used to really kind of kill my vibe, my mood, is just seeing that I needed to work out for hours to get results. Well, you don't, because with alternate day fasting, by default, not eating on those days, you're bound to see progress over time. Now you just throw in a little bit of exercise, 20 or 30 minutes, and you are just going to speed up all that weight loss progress. And that's one thing I had to come to terms with, because I would overdo it. In this age bracket and time of my life, overdoing it and putting more stress on my body and raising my cortisol levels is just not the way to go. And you might be like that as well. Maybe you're, 30s, late 30s, midlife, or 40s or 50s. And the things that you would do as a younger person, all the heavy extreme lifting and intense running in the gym, maybe that's not what your body needs right now. So I found that alternate day fasting is the perfect thing for me because I'm healing from the inside. And then on the outside, I don't need to go and do hours in the gym. And in fact, I don't really have the time to do that. So what am I doing instead? I'm getting out and walking. I'm getting my 10,000 steps. And that's something that you can pair with alternate day fasting and ease your way up to it. Also, I do, Grow with Joe. I do Mr. and Mrs. Muscle. All these are YouTube channels. I do Mad Fit. I love her channel too. So I can pick literally a 20-minute full body weight workout. I also have dumbbells at home. So, if you don't have time to do that, you can pair home workouts with alternate day fasting. So if you're busy working, you have children, you can just set aside, 20 minutes, 30 minutes, including your stretch. And trust me, it's worked for me. And I started off like super huge, 242. So I wasn't even able to tolerate the gym. So home workouts have been definitely helping me. So get your little dumbbells if you can. I went to Ross. I got some off of Amazon. It doesn't have to be super expensive, and make it make sense for you is what I'm saying. You don't have to try to mirror anyone else. You have to do the things that are going to be easily incorporatable into your life because we're all unique. Another way that you're going to be able to, get through this alternate day fasting, and what's worked for me personally is reducing your stress. Sometimes you have to ask for help. This has been, I think, super hard for me because I'm naturally a doer. And I think a lot of us are, right? Especially if you're a parent, you and a woman, you do everything for everyone. But in this stage, if you want to be successful at this, you have to start becoming okay with saying no. And it's not in a mean way. It's just saying like, no, I'm not going to mop the floor right now. I'm not going to do the dishes right now. I'm not going to, slave away in the kitchen every single day when I can maybe batch cook and you guys can have leftovers and you're going to survive. And it's okay that food's the food's coming out of the refrigerator. It's okay. You're going to have to decide, is your health a priority? And that's going to require you to start decreasing some of your stress, offloading some things like I've had to do. You're not a bad mom because you're not cooking gourmet cuisine every day. Hey, I have frozen vegetables. I'm making my life easier. One day for dinner, I think I made, what was it? Was it tuna fish sandwiches with broccoli on the side? Look, make your life simple, and it doesn't make you a bad mom, a bad person. You are busy and you have to find those workarounds that allow you to not only meet your obligations, but also take care of your health. So that's a big one. Reduce your stress, ask for help, offload things. If you have a spouse, maybe they can cook on the days that you're fasting, If your kids are old enough, maybe they can do some things. Maybe they can chop up some vegetables, or maybe if they're super young, maybe they can peel the corn or, the potatoes, or do something that they can do for their age range. Maybe they can even cook now. They're like teenagers like mine. I'm like, you guys are going to help out. You eat, you cook. Now, if you're busy and you have homework, that's another story. We can work around that, but definitely on the days where there's holidays or schools are out or it's summertime and they're here, on the weekends, it can be a family affair. Get everyone involved. Make your life simple. If you're able to bring your family on board and they're supportive with your alternate day fasting, that's even better. If you're not at that point, or maybe you just want to move in silence, maybe you are just getting started with this alternate day fasting and your health journey, and you just want to get your footing, get your confidence, get your process down for yourself so you're not, broadcasting it to the world what you're doing in terms of your health, that's okay too. Find your, your buddy. If you have a friend or, hey, even with us, comment, get your accountability partner. That way that's going to help you feel like you're not so alone. You're not so isolated. You can swap stories and struggles and your wins. So find that system. So you guys, hopefully you took away from this video, that you can do alternate day fasting You don't have to be perfect. It doesn't have to be a punishment. It can be a way that prioritize yourself, give yourself some love, get in the best health of your life, give your body a chance to rest, heal, and then come out on the other side revitalized and reaching your health, your weight loss goals. And most importantly, you can do it. I've been able to do it. And again, I'm just a regular old person who just about failed at all other ways to lose weight. I've tried all these other fat diets, and for years I couldn't even get under 200 pounds. And alternate day fasting, I really, truly believe saved my life. I was pre-diabetic. I had stroke level blood pressure. I was put on hydralazine for my blood pressure at only 34, almost 35 years old. And life was just not feeling good for me. I was waddling, I was in pain, I was irritable, I was feeling down and unconfident. So alternate day fasting helped me turn all that around in a matter of months. So I just want you to take away from this video. Hopefully, even if you're like me, you're a busy mom, you're heading into midlife and things are changing, life's busy, don't discount yourself. If you're trying to lose weight and get healthy, give alternate day fasting a shot. Don't give up. I've had some hurdles along the way, but that doesn't mean that I quit, and you don't have to either. You just gotta have that, the mindset, get a rhythm for yourself, make it easy. So, it's something that you're able to stick with. And trust me, once you find that process, even if you're a busy person, you will find that it's so much easier. It becomes manageable and sustainable. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell, and comment down below. If you're a beginner, if you're new to alternate day fasting, you're thinking about it, if you've been doing it, what are your successes, any struggles, wins? I love to hear from you. And don't forget to get your free alternate day fasting guide, which I'll link in the description. Okay, until next time, fasting fam, bye.